Good afternoon, Auburn Alliance Church. It's our 5 to 5 today for Friday, and we are really glad to come to you and share with you some of the results of the survey that many of you, 91 of you in total, that actually did the survey. And so we're very thankful for that. Thank you for taking the time to fill it out and to give us some of your thoughts as it relates to our stages and our steps back to restarting, which we're calling reIGNITE. So thank you so much for doing that. We appreciate your honesty, your transparency, your openness, and we got some really interesting information that came out of that. I think one of the biggest things that we saw was that we have such a broad spectrum, don't we, Pastor Jim?
Absolutely.
About where people think about the COVID-19 issue. And some of you, state clearly, this is ridiculous, this shouldn't be happening. And then you have the other side of the spectrum that says this is going to be, it's devastating. This is, this is really, really, really bad. So anyway, we understand we have that both ends of the spectrum. And so that's
and everything in between.
Yeah,
every area in between. You know.
So that's part of the reasons why we're posturing ourselves in a ministry of caring. That because we realize that there's so many different thoughts about this and perspective of this, and so from that standpoint, from that launch pad of a ministry of caring, a lot of our decision making for the stages is based upon that persona or that aspect of engaging and restarting here at Auburn Alliance Church. So we want to share with you some of the information. So I'll let Pastor Jim share some thoughts from what came out of our survey.
Yeah, just first off, we had a good cross section from our church fill this out. As far as demographics go, we had equal balance between people who are older, people who are younger, people who are adults with kids in their house, and people who are adults without kids in their house. Mm-hmm. So we felt like this the survey results that we received just don't show one slice of people in our church, but it was a really good cross section of the people that are represented currently by Auburn Alliance Church. Mm-hmm. And the leaders who have taken this into consideration as we're talking about when do we launch reIGNITE, what are the stages of reIGNITE going to look like, and even more than that, when do we go from stage 1 to stage 2, from stage 2 to stage 3? All of this stuff has been really helpful to us. And the biggest thing that we've gotten out of this is that we need to maintain our posture of caring. This is not about caring for one family in our church or one opinion in our church. This is a posture of caring for our entire church. Yeah. And when you take leadership decisions into consideration, when you know that they're impacting a variety of people with a variety of maybe health concerns, or maybe they're in a work environment where certain things are happening there, or they're at home in a quarantine kind of a situation. Some of them have children where we have to take the children's needs into consideration. Right. Some of them are in a place where they have a vulnerability with health. Other people are strong and vibrant, and they're not concerned at all. So taking all of those things into consideration and wanting to have a posture of caring, these kinds of results have been really helpful. Mm-hmm. And more than that, we also want to take that posture of caring for our community.
Yes.
Both because our community is watching us and other churches in our area. And if we did something that was harmful to the community, man, that would just be a grudge that they're going to hold for a long time against us. Right. And if we did something that benefits the community, both short-term and long-term, that positions us as a church to be able to care for them for a much longer period of time. And that's really what is most important to us as a church. Yeah. We want to be caring for people inside and outside of our church.
So with a ministry of caring and a posture of caring, we want you to know that we hear what you say through the surveys, that you are just like us. You're ready to get back to normal.
Ready to go.
That was one of the questions in the questionnaire. Are you ready to get back to normal? Yes, we're ready to get back to normal. We say this every day. We talk about it. We're ready to get back to what we used to be doing in a sense of before without limitation. So you are responding exactly the same way that we're feeling. And with that, that means getting back to normal. It means getting back to the normal, everyday ministries of Auburn Alliance churches. Many of you want to come back for Sunday morning worship, So that came out pretty loud and clear that you want to get back to that. You understand that there is some things that need to happen first, of course. It came through, I think, through the survey that you understand that we are following the guidance of New York State guidelines for churches and houses of worship, which we are doing. Yeah. So we're going to follow that. We're following in a sense of what is being mandated to us from Albany. And as much as you might feel, I wish we could go in a different pace because the virus was so minimal here in Cuyahoga County, we are going to abide by New York State because we are trusting that God is in this, in their leadership, as difficult as that might be to hear or submit to. But
and I think at this point it'd be good to mention that I've heard from other church leaders who have said they are going to ignore what New York State is telling them to do.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's a good posture for us as a church to take.
Right.
So there are some things that the state may require for us to do because those requirements are not clear yet. We're just looking at things that they've given us already, and that just changes week to week. Mm-hmm. But they may very well require us to take people's temperatures before we allow them to come into the building. Mm-hmm. And as uncomfortable as that is, as many of us think, what are temperatures even going to help with? We want to abide by the things that the state is asking us to do, even if we think those things are dumb. We're still going to be doing them.
Yeah. It was really great to see from the survey the number of people, a large number of you that said that you're willing to wear the masks, we know it's not easy wearing the mask.
I hate the masks.
You do?
I do. I hate wearing the mask.
Yours is so pretty. But, sorry. But I'm getting used to the mask, as I go different places within the community and I put it on and I've learned it's sort of my rote experience now. Maybe it's the same for you. I am in the truck, I pull into my parking spot, I put it on, I get out, I come out, take it off, put it on the dashboard, and I'm getting used to that. Thank you, Auburn Alliance, for your willingness to do that.
Yeah.
We're not going to be policing this thing. We're going to be trusting you to be adults, and to take consideration into this. And this is coming down from Albany. So, and we're going to abide by that. And so we appreciate that. The other thing that I thought was great that came out of the survey was your willingness to create social distancing while we have a worship service. Yeah. That alternate row seating, the way that the room is going to be spaced out, which we're still working on some of that. But thank you so much for the freedom that gives to us as leadership to see you're tracking with us. You're seeing some of the very same things that we're seeing, yeah. And your willingness to do that. We appreciate that a lot. So,
and I want to say thank you because one of the big things that came out in the survey in the comments section is most of you appreciate what the leadership of Auburn Alliance Church has done. We have had so many meetings.
Yeah.
We have talked internally with the elders and the board of ministries and the Christian Education Committee and ministry leaders.
Yeah.
And person after person who had personal concerns or issues or perspectives. Well, it's been a great privilege for us to have Eric Quinn be part of these conversations. Eric is a decision maker, point of decision person for a company to help them get through this COVID-19 kinds of things. Right. So he knows so much about what's going on in the state, the mandates, the requirements, the stages. All of these things are things that he's very, very, very well informed in, to be able to have multiple conversations with him. To know that we've met with our district leadership and we've met with other pastors. We've met we've watched so many different press conferences and read so many documents that the state has put out. This is not something that we have taken lightly or we're going to step into quickly. Right. And most of you have told us you really, really, really appreciate the way the leadership has responded. And I just want to say thank you. Thank you for being gracious in that, for not being frustrated at us because we're going to abide by the state's guidelines, or frustrated with us because we're not just going to rush in and do something that we feel is not the best interest for our people in our church or our community. So I just really, again, say thank you. Thank you for giving us that grace, and thank you for following the leadership in this. Yeah.
So, this past week was the first time our elders had got together. We met together in person. A few of the elders stayed at home. We have brought them in virtually through Zoom, but it was the first step, in a sense, a small step. Our leadership coming together, spending a little bit of time in prayer, but just discussing the stages of reIGNITE. And what does that look like? And how were we going to gently, softly, sensitively, caringly, cautiously take steps to begin to come back together? Yeah. And so it's important for you to know that you'll be receiving a letter in the mail, a formal letter that is explaining what reIGNITE is all about, and then also the 4 stages that are there, and the expectations of what it's going to look like when we literally in person come back together for church and for the ministries that we're going to be doing. So, and also with that, and just to give you a headline, sort of a commercial for the future, we're going to do a video of what that's going to look like. And we're going to try to have some fun with that, just to make it light. And just, what does it look like? You're going to drive in and park your car.
Don't tell him.
Oh.
Don't ruin the video.
Oh, okay.
You're like that guy that says, I saw an amazing movie, you should go see it, and then you tell us the whole movie.
Yeah, they all die at the end, right?
What?
I'm just kidding.
Does the guy get the girl? I need to know.
I'm just kidding, yes. So,
or the girl get the guy.
So it's coming, just those, what's it going to look like when we start back together again. So we really appreciated you taking the time to do the survey. That means a lot to us personally. Yeah. We want to hear your thoughts, and feel free still to share with us some of your thinking. We're always open to hear that. And, this is a fluid time. We don't know what's happening. The number is still 10 coming down from Albany. This is the maximum number. We're hoping that's going to rise soon. There's some possibilities that the number may go to 30, but anyway.
Yeah. So thank you for watching another video. Thank you for being part of Auburn Alliance Church. Thank you for your patience with your leadership. Yes. I'll just speak on behalf of all of our leadership teams. We love you. Yes. And we appreciate you. Yeah. We're here to follow Jesus and to do it together as a community. And the more people that we have in our community at Auburn Alliance, I think the better postured we are in order to reach, build, equip, multiply, and send. And we got to do it together. Yep. So thanks for being part of it. We love you. We appreciate you. And we'll see you at a 5 for 5 sometime next week. And we'll see you for worship on Sunday.